The court calls the matter of Sears versus Sears, case number 2020-5529-DM. All parties and attorneys could please state their name and appearance for the record, starting with the plaintiff's attorney, Ms. Corrigan.
Lynn Corrigan, P39840, and I am appearing on behalf of Billy Sears.
Good morning. Mr. Sears, are you here?
Yes.
Mr. Sears is appearing by phone. Ricky Sears, are you here?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Okay, she's appearing by phone. And Ms. Granzo, if you could put your appearance on the record.
Jennifer Granzo, Assistant Prosecuting Attorney, appearing on behalf of the state of Michigan in this matter as it relates to the issue of parentage.
Good morning, everyone. Today's date and time set for a hearing. Now is being done by remote technology. The contents of this video may be the official record of a proceeding of the state of Michigan's 9th Judicial Circuit. Unauthorized duplication, distribution, alteration of said content is strictly prohibited. Today's date and time set for a most unusual motion, but one that, although unusual, seems to have an easy remedy. Ms. Corrigan, you state that both Mr. Sears, your client, and Ms. Sears are in agreement of the facts as laid out in your motion. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And you'd like to set up a revocation of paternity hearing and some testing to be done. Is that correct?
That is also correct, Your Honor.
Ms. Granzo, do the people have any position with regards to that?
Oh, Your Honor, my office filed a case, file number 2021-5509-DS, and it was specifically to get these parties to the point where they would have the opportunity to do this ROPA or address this revocation of paternity issue. I have no objection. In fact, hoping that we can resolve both matters.
Okay. Any objection to that, Ms. Corrigan, of resolving both cases?
None, Your Honor.
Okay. So where are we at with regards to testing? Is it something that can be set up, Ms. Corrigan, between you and your client and Ms. Sears and the child?
I have not had any communication with Miss Sears, with Ricky Sears, and I don't know what her ability to do with respect to the father's DNA or testing. I've never done this before, Your Honor. I'll do whatever you instruct me to, and Mr. Sears will cooperate.
Ms. Sears, do you believe
Yeah.
that Mr. Sears is not the father of the child?
Yes.
Do you believe that?
Yes, he is not. I'm sorry.
Okay. Do you believe that Wade Jordan is the father?
Yes, he is.
Okay. And Ms. Granzo, is Wade Jordan part of the DS case?
No, Your Honor, the DS was between the Sears individuals because despite my best efforts, I couldn't get any party to reopen the DM until Ms. Corrigan got involved.
Okay. Mr. Sears, are you able to afford the DNA testing at an accredited lab?
I'm not sure. I don't know how much that's going to cost.
It's about $450, I'd say.
I mean, I'd prefer not to afford it, but if I have to, I guess I will.
Okay. Ms. Sears, can you help pay half of the costs?
Most definitely, yes.
Okay. So it looks like both of you would pay about $2 something. Is that a fair assessment, Ms. Granzo?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And that would get rid of this problem we have. Well, although a child is never a problem, it's just a very odd way of going about it. I'm disheartened if the allegations Ms. Corrigan put in her motion are true, that an attorney would tell you not to worry about something like this. But let's just solve the problem now by getting Mr. Sears either declared the father or not declared the father. Ms. Granzo, do you want to take any testimony today?
That would be great, Your Honor. Yes.
Okay, I'll swear in both parties. Mr. Sears, if you'll raise your right hand and let me know when you've done so.
Okay.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Please state your full name, spelling your first and last name for the record.
Billy John Sears, BILLYSEARS.
Mr. Sears, has everything you told me today on the record been the truth?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Sears, can you raise your right hand and let me know when you've done so?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
Please state your full name, spelling your first and last name for the record.
Ricky Sue Sears, RIKKISEARS.
And Ms. Sears, has everything you told me today been the truth on the record?
Yes, it has been.
Okay, Ms. Granzo, you may inquire, and then Ms. Corrigan, if you have any follow-up questions, I'll allow you to ask.
Thank you.
Miss Sears, I see that you had the child Hope Lynn Jordan on February 29th of 2020. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
And was this a full-term pregnancy for you?
Yes, she was.
So conception would have been sometime in May of 2019?
Yes.
And in the months of April, May, and June of 2019, did you engage in any sexual relationship with Mr. Billy Sears?
No, I did not.
Were the two of you living separately and apart from one another at that time?
No, we were not.
What makes you certain that this child is not possibly Mr. Sears' child?
I did not have any sexual relations with him in that time frame. I have not had. She looks exactly like her father, Wade Jordan. Like, there's no mistaking. There's no possibility that she's Billy Sears' child.
Okay. And in the course of this process, the attorney representing the divorce case, Miss McIntyre, was she aware of the fact that you had given birth to Hope?
Yes, she was. She was informed multiple times because we asked her how to take care of it at the same time as the divorce. There's emails, there's conversations that I've had with her personally, me and Billy have had with her jointly. She was completely aware.
You're convinced that Mr. Jordan is the father of this child. Does he have a relationship with Hope?
Yes, he does.
And does he reside in the same home with that child at this time?
No, he does not at this time.
Is Mr. Jordan financially supporting Hope?
Yes.
Would he be willing and able to acknowledge paternity once the court opens the door for him to do so?
Yes.
So that means, would he be willing to sign an affidavit of parentage or paternity?
Yes, he would.
And do you know where Mr. Hope resides? Mr. Jordan resides at this time?
I'm not as sure of the exact address of where he is residing right now, but I can find out and let the court know.
What is Mr. Jordan's birthday?
1/13/98.
Does he live in the Kalamazoo community?
He lives in Berry County.
And what is Mr. Jordan's physical description?
He is 6'2", probably 175 pounds, dark hair, gray eyes.
And what nationality is he? What race?
White.
Okay. I have no other questions of Ms. Sears at this time. If the court has anything additional to inquire, or Ms. Corrigan.
Corrigan, any questions?
I just have a couple of short ones, Your Honor, if you please, if I may.
Sure.
Ricky, was Wade Jordan at the hospital when Hope was born?
Yes, he was. We tried having him sign the birth certificate, but because I was still legally married to Billy, they did not allow it.
Okay, but Did Wade Jordan acknowledge publicly, at least on Facebook and to his family and friends, that he was a father of Hope?
Yes, he has.
Okay, that's all I have.
Okay.
Does Mr. Jordan, ma'am, seem agreeable to take a DNA test?
Most definitely, Your Honor.
Okay. Anything else by any of the attorneys?
Not of Miss Sears, Your Honor.
Any other witnesses, Ms. Granzo?
And ask for testimony from Mr. Sears, please.
Mr. Steers, you're still under oath. You may inquire, Ms. Granzo.
Mr. Sears, did there come a point in time when you and Miss Sears separated from one another?
Yes.
When was that separation?
Legally, or like as far as, I guess I don't understand the question. Legally, or as far as when we separated?
When you stopped living together?
It's like January of last year.
Of 2020?
Yes.
And you were aware of the fact that she was expecting this child, Hope Jordan. Is that correct?
Correct.
And when the child was conceived in May of 2019, had you been sexually active during the months of April, May, or June of 2019 with Miss Sears?
No.
What makes you so certain of that dynamic?
Because at that point in time, we really weren't around each other that much. I was driving over the road as a truck driver, and that stuff didn't happen. So.
Since your ex-wife has given birth to Hope Jordan, have you had any relationship with that child?
No.
Does that child look to you as a parent in any fashion?
No.
Do you financially support that child?
No.
Do you wish to have any relationship with that child as a parent?
No.
I have no other questions of Mr. Sears, Your Honor.
Ms. Corrigan, any questions?
No questions, sir. Thank you.
And I have no questions either. Anyone else, Ms. Granzo?
No, Your Honor.
Anyone else, Ms. Corrigan?
No, Your Honor.
Position, Ms. Granzo.
Your Honor, this motion was brought by Mr. Sears to declare a child born out of wedlock under the Revocation of Paternity Act. He has met his only standing requirement, which is to bring this claim. The minor child is less than 3 years of age. The defendant has Mr. Sears, plaintiff, has testified that he has no relationship with this child, does not desire to maintain one, would be willing to take a DNA test. In the alternative, Ms. Sears has testified that, again, Mr. Sears could not possibly be the father of the child. She bases that on a lack of access, as well as the belief that the minor child resembles Mr. Jordan, who she says is the biological father. So the biological father of the child, potential biological father of the child, has been identified. The claim is brought timely. I believe that it's appropriate for the court to grant DNA testing so that the court may have clear and convincing evidence that the child is not a product of this marriage. I don't have any objection to the court requiring Mr. Sears to test, but in the alternative, allowing Mr. Jordan to do so, if in fact Mr. Jordan is willing to do that. It could essentially kill two birds with one stone, it automatically excluding Mr. Sears and including Mr. Jordan. But with the understanding by Mr. Sears that if for some reason Mr. Jordan does a test and it comes back that he's excluded as the father, that Mr. Sears would still have the obligation to test.
Ms. Corrigan, any arguments?
I don't have any arguments, Your Honor. I brought the motion to amend the divorce because it looked easier than the paternity action route. If we can handle them both with one fell swoop, that makes good sense to me. Good economics.
Yeah. I would agree if it's possible to handle them both, but if not, we'll at least get this case handled. I do find by clear and convincing evidence that this child, testimony shows that there's not a possibility of Mr. Sears being the father, but we still need to do our testing. So I will order that the testing be done. At this time, the court will order that the fees be split between Mr. and Mrs. Sears. Ms. Granzo, can you prepare that order?
I can, Your Honor.
Anything else by anybody?
The court willing to have the alternate language in there for Mr. Jordan and Mr. Sears?
Absolutely. That may be the best way to do it. If he's declared the father in a DNA test, that solves two problems at the one time. So yes, if you could put that in order, that would be greatly appreciated.
And then is there a time frame in which the court would prefer this to be completed?
Mr. and Mrs. Sears, can you get this done within 30 days?
I'm sorry, what?
Can you get this done within 30 days?
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Sears?
Yes.
Okay, then within 30 days of today's date.
I'll get the order.
Now, is that the understanding that he going to take it, or if he doesn't take it, then I have to take it? Is that right?
Yes, and if he's fiddling around with it, don't waste our time. Just you and Ms. Sears take care of it. If Mr. Jordan wants to play games, I'd prefer you two to get it done, get it paid for, and get the results in, okay?
Okay.
All right. That'll be the order of the court. All prior orders remain in effect. And Ms. Granzo, if you could prepare that, that would be great.
I will do so, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you, Your
I'll set a
Honor.
review date in about 35 days.
Okay.
Let's get a date on the record. Hopefully we'll get results before then.
We could do either September 7th.
September.
Yeah, sorry. We could do any time after 2:30 on the half hour.
Whichever time works best for the court.
Ms. Corrigan, does a specific time work better for you?
No, I'm open in September. September 2nd, not September 7th all day.
September 7th, yeah, all day.
I'm available all day at your convenience.
Okay, Mr. Enzo, does 2:30 work for you?
Yes, 2:30 is
Yes.
fine.
Okay, September 7th at 2:30 will be by Zoom again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.